Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Futures Club podcast, where we come to chill and get our minds right. I am Judith Daniel, your host and owner of Juju Star Productions LLC, where we have an array of products designed to help and encourage and uplift and push you forward in life. If you want to know more, go ahead and click that link. But for now, sit back and enjoy the show.
Hey, all right. So, welcome back. And I thought for this podcast, it's just a little bit more about me. So these are the top questions that I get asked. And I hope there's not a lot of noise in the background, but I'm freezing, so I had to turn the heat on. And I'm just getting over a cold. So yeah, this one is just going to be a little bit of the, probably questions that are on your mind. And if not on your mind, these are the ones that I get a lot. So we're just going to kind of kick straight to it. And again, you guys know I don't edit, so I'm just going to run it up, and we'll see where we are at the end. I don't want to take up too much time today. I got a lot of work to do. Um, and that's why I'm not paying for this, because I know my consistency is not where I want it to be, even though I do want them to come out every Wednesday. As soon as like you're getting off work, you need that drive home, things like that. This is not a morning show. This is I'll tape it in the morning, and then we edit it throughout the day, or I mean, get it where it needs to be when I got time to get it together. So in the midst of all my other stuff that I have to do. All right, so and again, these are what I get to my DMs. Sometimes I do a Q&A on my personal Instagram, or maybe on Facebook, but my Facebook is more just for family stuff. And, then I'll promote or add something to my page so that I can share it with other groups. But here we go. So when did before we get to that one, you pronounce the name Jai as J. That's a top one too. Jai? It's like, just J, just spelled a little different. Okay. Sorry, my throat is already acting up. Okay, when did this become a passion for you? So, and then I'm putting in reference when I'm talking about Futures Club and taking suicide off the table as an option and reintroducing people to themselves for that program of it. Because I have a lot of passions, a lot of things that I do, but this one kind of gets my heart. Second to awapzone.com. So when did this become a passion for you? I was very young, okay? And I was having a hard time with my life, with understanding, different people who were in charge of taking care of me, but didn't really want to. Um, and then it progressed throughout the years, and we all come from somewhere, and there was a time when I was like, it might be better just not to be here. That's part of it. Um, but then as I got a little older and you start hearing more things, one of the critical points or turning points was when I heard about Willis. So we were going from I believe it was from our sixth grade year into seventh grade. And it was like, that summertime, whatever. So I was in my room. I was reading, what was it? It was an R.L. Stine book, and it was Beach something. I don't know. It was a great book. I was getting to the end of it. And my best friend at the time called me. And this is back when we had the one phone in the house, or maybe two, one upstairs, one downstairs. And I was talking to her, and she said something to the effect of, because again, this has been almost a lot of years. I ain't even gonna put myself on. So she said, did you hear what happened to Willis? And I said, no, what? And she said, he shot himself in the head. Well, they don't know what happened really, but he got shot in the head and he died. And I mean, the the thought of that, like in sixth grade, and I'm already living a sheltered life, right? And I'm already, we live in a place where we have to travel by bus to go in town to go to school. Um, I'm like, is this what that is? Is this what the city life is? And I'm like, because I've been there when I go to my aunt's house or, family stuff, but I never used to just be able to go to the city. Um, and she lived in the country like me. So, excuse me, but it was just like, I don't know, it threw me off. And then I was like, how did nobody know? Like, how do you not know if that happened or what happened? Nobody was around him. He was by himself. Because in my life, being a child, there's always someone around. You know what I mean? I grew up in mom, dad, four siblings. Like, it's just always somebody around. I'm like, why wasn't nobody around? And then when I would go outside, we got friends and all that, blah, blah, blah. But it's like nobody was around him. You know what I mean? So I'll remember him as long as my memory stays a memory. Like, as long as I got my memory, I will never forget him. You know, it was just one of those things where, dang, in my heart, it always feels like, but what if somebody would have been around? And that's where it stemmed from, because sometimes people just need somebody else to be around. And sometimes their family can't take on that responsibility for whatever reason. Their mom works, they're an only child, and I wanted to be that person that was around for people and that was around for them. And that they could be like, you know what, I'm thinking about this. And then I could, hopefully, my thought, hopefully one day be able to give them some good advice. Maybe I would know something by the time I grew up that would make me a benefit for people to be around. So that is where my original passion stemmed from. It was just, wanting to be a person that wants to be around. As I started growing up and figuring out things and seeing all the different aspects of people and begin to like people watch and see the different sides and experience the different sides of people. It's like, okay, now I grew to something else and now I want to research. And now what is suicide? Like how do people get to that point and how do we not get to that point? Right? So that is where that stemmed from. Number two, and there's only six. Why did it take so long to get started from when you first had the idea? Oh, and again, that goes right into because it takes more research. And I wanted to always give a good product, a good service, a good whatever my name is on, it's going to be good. I grew up teaching myself, listening to the word of God, where integrity is what we want to stand on, because if you don't stand for nothing, you fall for everything, right? So I wanted to stand on my integrity. I wanted my word to be worth something. So, yeah. Um, and it takes a long time. Like it's going to take you longer to get to your point that you think is the successful point because it's about the journey. It's about the learning along the way. Because when I had that first meeting, when I had that first talking with someone, when I had that my very first, all my information got taken from me. You know what I mean? I gave it all away. So it's like that's the end point for me is giving it away again. So my journeys always lead up to me giving it away again. And that's my success. That's how I pinpoint my success. Was I able to give it away again? It's not the money that's going to be in my pocket, right? Because I don't charge a lot. Excuse me. Could I charge a lot? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I grew up in a time where we didn't even have that like that for nothing like this. So I want it to be an investment. It's not going to be free because I want you to see the worth in it too. And when you have to give a little bit of yourself, you kind of want to take it more personal and you kind of want to get all that you can get out of it. So that's why I don't do free. That's why I don't do a 501c3, because I don't want nobody regulating how I can progress and give my program. I just want to be able to give it how I got it, because it works so much better like that when there's no regulation, when there's no hands in the pot, when there's nobody standing over you saying, well, you need to do it this way. Because I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. That's why I started this in the first place. You understand? That's why I do it my way and this way. Because I think this is better. And from experience, I know this is a very good way for you to get this information. But always remember, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And apply that to everything you do. There's never just going to be one way to do something because everybody has different minds. And if everybody is looking at the same object together, they all come up with a different concept of it or how to. Or it might be similar to yours, or they might say, yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I also thought, there's going to be some type of integration there that elevates you. So I'm going to do it my way because that's what I thought and that's how I saw it. And because of what I do, because of my passion, because of the lifestyle that I have, it's better to do it that way. Let's see. So where are we at? Number 3. Why do you believe in God so much? How do you know he's real for real? Okay. So experience. That's all I can say. It's my experience. And because I can't live your life, I can't tell you exactly what that is. You have to experience him for yourself. But if you never give him a chance, how you ever going to get to an experience? That part. So you have to take it upon yourself because I'm not here to persuade. I'm not here to convert. I am not here to do nothing. I am here to say, you know what happened today? Heck yeah, man. And when that situation arises, I'm gonna stand on the corner and I'm just gonna shout it out to anybody and everybody. No matter if you want to hear it or not, you're gonna hear it today. I can't do that. That's not my ministry. My ministry is in the moment. If something should arise and it's relevant, I'm gonna say something. And you could take it or you could leave it, but it has nothing to do with me. So am I going to be convincing? No, I don't have to because I lived it. So it's my truth. You know what I mean? So I don't have to convince you nothing. You have to experience it for yourself. So yes, I can see all day he's real. Why? Because of the experience I had with him. But you'll never know that if you don't have the experience. I could talk for days till I'm blue in the face. It don't mean nothing. So yeah, get you an understanding. They got Bibles all over the place. Do a little bit of research, figure it out, and think about it, and then start asking him the real questions you want to ask. And then when you start doing that, he'll start talking back. Okay? And I'm going to leave it right there. Number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't act like a normal Christian. I never heard one talk like you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because that means that I am just being me. And obviously, because of the way he blesses me, because of the way he stays with me, I'm so sorry, guys, my throat and my nose. But because of the way he still talks to me to this day, okay, and the way he leads me, and the way he blesses me, like it keeps going in that circle, and the way he protects me, and the way he, like when I'm off track, gets me back on track. It's not just a freaking, I mean? It's not a good time all the time. I don't know what y'all thinking. But I get to just be me. And if that means that I might cuss you out, that we might have some words, that you might see my fireside side, all right, It is what it is. But I don't have to be fake. I don't have to put on nobody's picture. I don't have to be there for the tradition. I am actually in a relationship with him. And he obviously likes that. He likes that he's the name I call. You know what I mean? He's the name I call. He likes that I just be me. And if you like me, you like me. And if you don't, deuces, right? Because it's not my problem. That's your problem. Go somewhere else then. You don't have to be in my face. Because I darn sure ain't going to be in yours. Okay? So I am just me. And I just so happen to be in a relationship with Christ. And I happen to believe that I am that Romans child of God. So again, you got to look at it for yourself. I'm too busy, but he's always there to talk when you want to talk. But yeah, I don't have to put on a fake face. That's why you be like, ugh, she be cussing herself? Did she just have some wine? Oh, what? You know what I'm saying? Because I could just be me. And I still am in this world, right? I just ain't from here. Like, this is not my final stop. Well, it's none of our final stop, but some people just don't want to acknowledge it. Um, and that's again up to you. But I can just be me. I like to have my integrity high. I like my word to mean something. And I like to speak my mind. Because if we don't get to a real, what the real issue is, there's never going to be a real solution. And sometimes it always don't come out pretty. But guess what? That's really what I meant. Excuse me. Okay, so you say you want to reach everybody. How do you plan to do that? So one of my goals is to have a lot of people like me, and we're going to franchise it up. Okay? I don't want to be in your pocket. I want to teach you how to do this so that we can reach the people together. But I can't be in everywhere at the same time. And even for this program, for the live Futures Club, for the next year, starting 4/14, I can only have closed seating. So that means once we start the program, I can't have anybody else coming in and interrupting because they're going to be too far behind already. So that's why I did the prerequisite of the vision board class, because I need people that are going to be serious or at least want to try or see what it's about. You know what I mean? To go ahead and do that first and then jump into the course, and we all jump in together. So then we have our first topic already ready to discuss once we get there. And I'm taking these lessons straight out of my book, The Life Transformation Course. Success starts now. So it's already planned out. It's already done. I've already printed, the copies that I need to print, and that's normally for the offline class so that everybody can be on the same page and kind of, look at it and, get a different feel. But like I said, this is the first time I'm doing it online, so it's going to be a little bit different. I'll be mailing out whatever we need to go over, read, or do in advance in email. So then on that Friday, everybody's ready to go. You know what I mean? So it'll just be a little bit different strategy. Um, Yeah, but I want people who want to just know. I don't care your background. I don't care where you come from. As long as you can understand English, because I don't have an interpreter. Um, and we can, dialogue because your voice is very important. That's what I care about. And then show me that you want to be here because somebody else wants to be here who's not going to get a seat because it closed. They found out too late. They didn't understand what to do. They didn't read the directions. You know what I mean? So someone who can follow directions is for 14 and older. So that means up to seniors. If you have a assisted living facility, get your people signed up. They need to hear this stuff too. Don't just be locking them away and casting them out and then they can't participate. Yes, let them participate. Give them something they can do for the next year that will help their mind, that will help them. You know what I mean? And oh my goodness, the wisdom they could bring to the table. So please, spread the word. And we can all do this. And if I have to open up 2 nights, I'll open up 2 nights. That's the least of my problem. So that is that. You say you want to reach everybody. To have other people that do exactly what I do. So we go McDonald's it up. Okay? You know how they have their franchise, they have their systems in place, and everywhere you go, they do it the same way unless you're in a different country, right? That's what I wanted to become here and to have a lot and offline because that face to face interaction is amazing. Amazing. And the aha moments that you can see happen in real time, that's what I live for. Okay, what do you do to keep going when you don't feel like it? I pray. No, I sit there, I yell, I cry, I'm like, okay. And I have talks with myself. I am my biggest fan. I am my biggest critic. And if I can't be honest with myself, there's a problem. Because sometimes we try to lie to ourselves and think, well, it's not that bad. And I'm doing all I can and I'm so busy. And then here comes the excuses and blah, 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 blah. I just don't live that life. When I'm like, okay, you, all right now. When we need to have those talks, we have those talks. And then I get my little caboose moving. And I just be honest with myself because I don't want to do it all the time. Like my mental might be just stretched so thin that I just don't have it in me. When I don't do my podcast, it's not because I didn't want to, it's because I'm stretched so thin, I just did not have it in me. Because I want to give you guys something of value at everything I do. And I'm going to take this to another level. Once we get the program good and going, these podcasts are going to turn into helpful tips. These podcasts are going to turn into, things that you can use in your everyday life. But this is just a jump off, right? And getting into the consistency, because I suck at it, and getting into okay, here's what we do. This is how we do it. This is how long it's going to be. Okay, let me get a rhythm going. You know what I mean? So you have to jump in somewhere and get going. Especially when, I don't do this all the time. I've been an actress for blah, blah, right? Like over 20 years. But when you get there, it's just a different thing every time. Or you have this role now, or you're only doing this right now. So it's not the same as being consistent on your own stuff and doing it. So, yes, so that's what I do. Um, and I just keep going because I know this is what I want to do. I know this is in my passion. And it's hard to keep going when you know this ain't something you want to do. This is not your passion. You don't even know why you over here messing with these people. You know what I mean? Those kind of things. So make sure you're doing something that you love. The one thing I reiterate is for my children, for anybody to do what you love to do. That'll make you feel better and it'll help you to not grow weary when it gets hard or when you have those moments. You'll still want to pick it back up. And then one of the ones I get, because I don't want to be asked it anymore, so I'm just going to put it out here right now. It says, how you not married yet? And again, I'm just, took these from questions that I get asked because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And I was spoiled. And he would have been upset with me. And he would have loved me, yes. But no, no. And now I am. So we'll see what the Lord does, Um, and then that's where it'll be. I mean, because I am wife material, um, but I'm not a pushover either. I'm absolutely submissive, but I'm gonna need you to have your big boy pants on when we talk. So it's like somebody who's, not here for the challenge because I'm not a challenge, but I do have my own mind. And I do like intelligent men. Um, good Lord. And someone who works with their hands. So, and I saw a meme the other day. It was like, God was like, well, the meme was like, God was like, he ain't here yet because you picky as AF. And it's like, oh, my bad. I'll give you a minute. So that's probably me. And I need to see that because it was me. So those are the things. That is the podcast. And I don't know. I hope you guys are having a really good day. I know this was a little fast, but I wanted to get right to the meat of it and get right out because I have a busy day today. And I will be getting this up. It's Wednesday. Don't forget to leave those comments, questions, anything you kind of want to know but are unsure about, and make sure you visit the website, futuresclub101.com. Talk to you later. Deuces.
As always, thank you for joining us again for another episode. We hope you enjoyed yourself, but the best way to know is if you leave a comment or you send me a message and you actually let me know. If you have any questions, I would love to be able to answer those on the next episode, so go ahead and leave me that as well. But until next time, just know you are worth it to be wherever you want to be.